The community, what is it? It is another layer of support that supports our ecosystem. We have free webinars, we have a product forum, we have the ability for you to connect, collaborate, and contribute with other educators.
A sense of community is really important for teachers to have a place where they can go to get their questions answered and get thoughts on best ways to help their students. And if you don't have a community built, there's not the trust in allowing people to be vulnerable and ask for that help, and also take into account that they have some things to learn.
Plan on joining the educator community site by just delivering some content that I may record and sharing that with my other colleagues, and hopefully I can use some of the information that they shared and bring it back to my school district as well.
It's kind of nice because you can see what different people are doing in our region as well as across the world. There's some really good PD lectures or classes on there, and it's also a chance, it looks like, for you to ask questions or just connect with people afterwards.
In education, community is everything. I think the worst thing for a teacher is to feel stranded on an island or classroom, literally speaking. And it's important that we support each other and that we have a professional learning community that we can bounce ideas off of and learn from and get inspired from.
Community is the biggest part of education. I think that we oftentimes forget that this is the people business. We're serving all kinds of people, and people are working in the people business, right? So education is all about community and building relationships, building trust. And ViewSonic does a really fantastic job of building a community, whether it's connecting you to the right people at the right time for support, building your skills and supporting you as a learner, and then also just creating a community where you can go and ask questions.
So by now, you have to be interested in technology that drives both efficiency and success. And I know you want access to complimentary virtual product training, best practices digital workshops, thought leadership blogs and podcasts, as well as customer support solutions. So join the thousands who nationwide and internationally who have already connected, collaborated, and contributed in the educator community. And be a part of a movement that is transforming classrooms with the ViewSonic ecosystem. I'll see you in the community. Good afternoon and welcome. So happy to have you all here. We are now in part 2 of our Pro Tips series, and I'm excited to really dive into that in just a minute. You all had an opportunity to see me, the community manager, and understand what the community is truly all about. And if you're not a member, then it's a beautiful time now to join the community. For everything that we've offered and are going to continue to offer. So I'm excited to be able to bring to you guys this series. We already had a couple of questions in our Q&A. So one moment, let me do some housekeeping. You guys have probably already noticed that your microphone is disabled, as well as your cameras are disabled. So that means we will be communicating via Q&A. So all of your questions, whatever questions you have, please ensure that you drop them into the Q&A feature, and we will get them. Promise. Okay. We already actually had a couple of questions in our Q&A, and one of them was the recording for the last session. The last session, which was about 2 weeks ago, from Haley, Haley provided us with a wonderful overview of what to expect from this 4-part series. She gave an overview of what you can expect in this refresh. The purpose of this series is really to give you all a bite-sized pieces of this refresh to really make this transition into myViewBoard myViewBoard 3.0 much easier. Haley went into personalization and customization, really making myViewBoard 3.0 work the best for you. And today we're going to hear from Krystal, and she's going to get into calculate to collaborate, getting into participation mode. But before we get there, you guys, if you're with us the first time, you know that at the end of the session, we're doing our Class Swift check for understanding. And in order to participate, you must join the class. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your phones out and you're going to scan the QR code that you see on the screen now. Scan that QR code, and that's going to put you into the class. Okay. When you're entering the class, please ensure that you put the same name that is on your that you registered by, because there are prizes to be given away, and I want to ensure that I get that giftogram to you. So first things first, you're going to get your phone and scan that QR code. Then you're going to make sure that the name that you enter is the same name that you registered for this webinar with. And that way, if you do win, I'll be able to get the giftogram to you. Those of you who were with me the last time and you're wondering where your giftogram is, it's coming. I promise. I have taken care of it. So I do hope you have an opportunity to see how our Class Swift tool works. I'll get into more what that is later on. Now I'm going to bring our speaker out. Let me make sure I answered Ryan's questions. Ryan, so yes, 4 parts to this series. Yes, there will be a recording available. We hope that it will be, it should be available by tomorrow, and it's going to be posted in the community as well as emailed out to all those who registered for the first webinar. Okay, so hopefully that's got your questions addressed. I'm going to go ahead and bring out, introduce our speaker. We have just a cool opportunity to have with us Krystal, who is a teacher extraordinaire. She's more than just a teacher, but she's also a math pro. So she's going to combine both of those expertise to bring to you guys what the refresh looks like with her expertise on top of all of that. So you're going to find what she shares with you is going to be super practical and is really going to help you get even more excited about what this refresh means. So Krystal, welcome.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you so much for having me for this session today.
Yes.
So really excited. Can't wait to dive right in. So this presentation is called Calculate to Collaborate. It's about sparking student participation in math and more. So before we dive into the details, I'm going to share a little bit about myself. So again, my name is Krystal Soraoka. I am better known on social media as Teaching Fourth Fun. I'm a 3rd grade teacher in Oahu, Hawaii. This will be my 10th school year as a teacher. I've taught at 3 different public schools in Hawaii, and I've taught kindergarten, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. My teacher goal is to make learning memorable, fun, and engaging for my students. So some essential questions that are going to kind of overarch everything that we're doing today is, how can I use myViewBoard to increase student engagement in math? And how can I utilize technology to boost student engagement? Today, we're going to learn about these 4 things. So first, I will talk about math engagement strategies. Then the second thing we'll go over is how to increase student engagement with participate mode. We're also going to go over some awesome math tools on myViewBoard, as well as I have 3 awesome free lesson resources for you to use in your own classroom. So let's dive right in. So we're going to first talk about math engagement strategies, starting with my favorite problem of the day. So this is how I start every single math lesson that I teach. This is actually going to be my third school year religiously using problem of the day with my students. And if you aren't already using problem of the day with your students, I highly encourage you to give it a try. It drastically helps increase our test scores, and there are other benefits too, such as you can spiral review concepts you have already taught. It does help struggling learners. It builds math confidence, and you could also use it for challenge problems or things like test prep. So as we move on, actually, backing it up. On the screen, you're going to see an example of a problem of the day that I used with my students this past school year. This problem was a review of locating 3-digit numbers on a number line. I really like this problem because it challenges the students to show a deeper understanding of number lines. It's asking them to justify which ones could Mr. Smith not show on the number line. So as you can see, not all teacher resources or slides need to be pretty and cute in order to be effective. My problem of the day slides are very basic, black and white. I use Century Gothic font, and the purpose is, to save some time too, because if I want to add new problems, then I can just quickly type in something new without having to worry about how cute it looks. So next, I'm going to show you how a cool myViewBoard feature that some of you may already be familiar with, and that is importing Google Slides straight into your myViewBoard. So to import files, you need to click on File Manager in the toolbar, and then click Import Files and click on Google Drive. From there, you can search the name of your Google Slide presentation that you want to import. You can import the slides as backgrounds or as objects, as shown here. If you choose to do objects, then what you're going to see is something pretty cool, is that you can now move things around on the board and edit the pieces to make it perfect exactly how you want it. So here's my problem of the day. As you can see, I am shrinking it down because it was just a little too big. So I want to give some space where the students can actually show their work on the board. So love that so much. I feel like when you do import as objects, that does make it more interactive for the students, because now you actually have moving pieces and moving parts. Okay. Another student engagement strategy that I use is whiteboards. I make sure that all students in my class have their own individual whiteboards. The students also love getting to write on their own whiteboards. So some of the benefits would be, 1, all students are engaged in attempting to solve problems versus just sitting and listening and watching one student solve the problem. Students can take ownership of their work. And then what I really like to do is, if the students, they're showing their work on their board, and then I do something called Student Spotlight, where I will pick a student to take the work they've already done on their whiteboard and then show the whole class on the ViewBoard. Something that would be beneficial through that is that you can see, 1, your students' confidence is going to grow because they have the opportunity to be brave, get up there, and be confident in the work that they're doing. And I notice that the more that I do this with my students, the better problem solvers they become and the more excited they are about math. Another thing about whiteboards is that it can be very collaborative. So you can have the students do things like team talk or think, pair, share, and then they can solve the problems together. So I think it's really important to make sure we have our students not only just always independently sitting, working at their desk by themselves, but really we want our students to talk to each other and figure things out together, to have that collaborative mindset. Okay. So more on the student spotlight. So again, after you the students solve the problem, you can choose to show off their thinking in front of the class on the ViewBoard, which they absolutely love. And I noticed, again, that it boosts their confidence. Okay. There is 3 ways that I'm going to give you today that you could use Student Spotlight using some of the features on myViewBoard. So first would be the dice widget. The second one we're going to talk about is the wheel of names. And we've got a tech-free option where you could just use some popsicle sticks with student names and just pick a random one. So we'll dive more into the dice tool. Okay. To access the dice tool, you will need to click on the magic box in the toolbar and click on Math Tools. From there, you will need to scroll down until you see the dice tool under Widgets. When you click on it, it'll be added to your canvas. From there, you can resize it or move it as needed and roll the dice with a simple click. As you can see, very fun. Another super cool feature is that the dice tool is fully customizable. You can change the color and the number of dice that you want to roll. So here you'll see an example of me rolling a double dice in blue. Another cool thing is that you can also change the dots to be text. So you'll see that in a moment here. So I can go back to edit this. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on text and go back to one dice. So here I'm going to change the numbers to be numerals 1 through 5 to represent how many table groups I have. And then instead of using 6, because I only have 5 table groups, I'm going to change it to teacher choice. So that way, if it lands on teacher choice, then I will get to pick the student. So let's go ahead and roll that. And lucky me, I will get to pick which student will share the problem, or I could roll a 5 and then someone from table 5 could share the problem, or they can nominate someone from table 5 to do it. I mean, there's really endless possibilities with the dice tool. This is just one small example of how you could use the dice tool in your classroom for something that we like to call Random Reporter at our school. Okay. On the next slide, I'm going to talk about the wheel of names, which some of you may already be familiar with. It's another way that you can pick students in your class. So another tool that I love about myViewBoard is the ability to add an internet widget to your canvas. To do this, I'm going to add a new tab at the top of the screen and then click on Embedded Browser at the bottom toolbar. From there, I can search Wheel of Names. As you can see, here we go. Then I would add my student's name. As needed, I'll edit the wheel however I want to edit it, and then add that widget to my canvas. I also like to resize the wheel of names so that way it takes away all of the unnecessary things that we don't want to see. So as you can see here, I'm resizing it just so that I have my wheel available so I can go back and forth between the Wheel of Names tab and back to the problem of the day. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel, and we've got Hannah, I think. Yep. Okay, so Hannah is going to do the problem of the day for us. So I'll go back to problem of the day, and then Hannah will go up and solve the problem for the class. So that is Wheel of Names. And then, like I said earlier, if you're looking for a tech-free option, popsicle sticks are super easy to just kind of make really quickly, and something where you don't have to go to the board. Like if you're not next to the board, then you can just pull a stick out. All right. Okay, so another engagement strategy would be your on-screen manipulatives, like the base 10 blocks shown here in this video clip. Like I said earlier, students love coming up to the board. I think you should use this to your advantage to build excitement and increase engagement in your classroom. Don't forget that you can import your own Google Slides as objects and also use those as manipulatives. But like what's super cool is, as you can see in the video, with the fractions, there's a lot of ready-made lessons on myViewBoard all ready to go for you. And I'm going to show you how to access those right now. Okay. So to access ready-made lessons, you need to click on the magic box, and it'll be the first thing that you see at the top. Click on original content, and from there, you're going to be directed to a whole library of lesson slides that are sorted by subject and can be filtered further down by grade level. As you can see, this library is full of free lessons for you, ready to go. I will show you what it looks like. I'll give you an example. But as you can see, there's different subject areas, geography and STEM and science, So even though we're talking about math today, I just want you to know that there are features for all subjects. But yeah, let's find that math lesson. So let's say you're teaching a first grade class about telling time. So I'm going to go ahead and look for a lesson slide like that. Okay, so this one's cool. I can preview what's there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that to my Canvas. So these slides are so cute. They're already beautiful, ready to go. They're interactive, so you can have your students go up and move the pieces around and make the clock. I really love that I didn't have to do any work at all to just have something that looks very put together, like I know what I'm doing. So I think it's really fun to have these ready-made lessons just available for you at your fingertips, because we all know how valuable and precious our time is, and there's never enough time to create everything from scratch. So just want to encourage you all out there that there is a whole library of lessons for you to use with your students. Okay. Alrighty, so I know we covered a lot so far. So feel free again to drop any questions that you may have in the Q&A, and then we can answer them as we get to it. But we're going to be moving into part 2, which is all about the myViewBoard participate mode, which is super exciting. It's new and I'm obsessed. I love it so much. So first, I'm going to show you how to access participate mode. Okay, so to access participate mode, you're going to go to our magic box. You need to scroll all the way down to the bottom under increase class engagement. On the bottom left corner, you're going to see numbers. That will allow you to change how many separate canvases that you want. You can also change the background of these canvases, which is super cool. So there are some pre-installed images that ViewSonic already just has there that you can choose from. Or you can upload an image of your own. Or you don't even need to use an image if you don't want to, if you just want plain white canvas. But I'm going to go ahead and upload this one that I created for my students. So each student gets their own workspace, which is really awesome. They can customize the color of their pen, thickness, and erase as needed. And I know you see the 4 screens here, but you can actually, there's a swap tool. So you can swap the rows. Yep. So you can have 2 students at the board at once. And then the bottom 2 students, and then you can swap it and then have the top 2 students solve next, which is cool. And then we've got teacher annotate mode, which I turned on. And now you can go ahead and write over or show how correct answers for your students without erasing any of their work. So I'm going to go ahead and write a solution here on the student's work. I'm going to also toggle on and off annotate mode so you can see that it still saves and you can just turn it on and off. So that's pretty cool. And you can also save all of this in the bottom corner. You can save to your drive or files. So if you need to grade this later or you want to just save it, I don't know why. I mean, you could save it for other reasons, but I would imagine that maybe you'd want to use it for grading or something. Yeah. So I'm going to give you some more ideas on how to use participate mode with your class. So that example that you saw on the screen earlier was the 24 game. That's our favorite math warm-up game that gets student thinking and improves mental calculation. We're going to dive way more into that in a little bit, but I'm just going to go over the other ideas. So you could, again, use it for problem of the day. So if I wanted to do participate mode with 2 canvases, I could have my problem of the day on both and then have 2 students go up and share the different strategies that they used for problem of the day. You could also use it for test prep, direct instruction, if you wanted to put some kind of practice problem. You could do it for after school tutoring, any reason and excuse basically to get the kids up to the view board. I mean, honestly, they're going to love it no matter what. So use it with any subject though. Again, I know we're focusing on math today, but it's for all subjects. There's already templates that you can install, or not install, you can put as the background on this participate mode. And I'll show you a couple more examples how that might look. So again, this is our 24 game. So 1, 2, or 4, or 6 students can show their thinking in front of the class. Teacher annotate mode can validate correct answers, and all work can be saved for future reference. Okay, so we're going to take a little brain break. Well, kind of. We're going to play a game, but your brain's still going to have to work. So we're going to play the 24 game. I'm going to teach you how to play it. So this is a 24 game. Here's the instructions. So you can only use each number once. You must use all the numbers. You can add, subtract, multiply, or divide. And the final answer must equal 24. Now, before I make you play and get all crazy, I'm going to show you an example of exactly what I mean, because some of you are visual learners, so you need to see it first. So I'm here for you. Don't worry. I'm like that too.
Me too.
So we've got, this is the numbers 4, 5, 5, and 3. So I need to think about how I can use each of these numbers only one time to get the answer of 24. So here's an example. So we're going to have like 5 times 3 to get 15. And then 15 plus 5 is 20. And then 20 plus 4 is 24. So in pink, I proved to you that I used all of the numbers one time. I could use any of the 4 operations that I wanted. And then the answer does equal 24. So are you ready to think and play? If you would like to play the game, please, you can type your answers in the Q&A, or just keep them to yourself if you're too shy for that. But I want you to all try it out, because I promise it's fun, and the kids really do love it. So here's your example. You've got a 4, a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Okay, I'm trying it, Krystal. Here I go.
Okay. I believe in you. I wonder who's doing it the fastest.
Right, I know. I know.
There's the answer. I know it.
So I'm not mathematically inclined, so I know everyone's doing it faster than me, but I'm working on it. I'm definitely working on it. Oh, wait. Okay, here it is.
How you doing, Tara?
So Okay, I don't know if I'm following the instructions correctly. I did 3 times 4,
Okay.
okay, and then, of course, there's 2 times 1, and
Okay.
so but I need to put those together, obviously. So then do I just do 12 but I can then I just do 12 times 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you did it. Great job. So your one solution, and a lot of times for this game, there's actually multiple solutions, which is really cool. And I'm telling you right now, like my students are begging to play the
I love it.
24.
I have fun.
So yeah, 4 times 3 is 12, and then you can do 12 times 2 to
Yes.
get 4, and then times 1, and then we got the answer. Yeah. So thank you for playing. If you got the answer, if you got a different answer than Tara, please let us know in the Q&A. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for playing my short, not so brain break game.
Thank you, Krystal. That was fun.
Okay. All right. So again, back to our participate mode, just so you can see what it might look like with the examples that I talked about earlier. We've got our test prep example. So here again, very like simple. I put a
You
test
can
prep
take me off.
and a little workspace for the students to go ahead and show up their work on the board in participate mode. There's also this non-math example. So if you teach lower elementary, you could do some writing practice. I'm sure the littles would love going up there and writing "ow" as in cow in all pretty colors. And this is a ViewSonic original, so I didn't make it, and you already have access to it. So please take advantage and dive into that library of resources because there is a lot of golden nuggets in there. I'm telling you right now. And then here's another one straight from ViewSonic Originals. We've got a compare and contrast graphic organizer. You could use that for any subject. And yeah, it's really awesome and really fun. So moving on to our last section, and thank you so much for listening to me so far. But we're going to go ahead and talk about some of my favorite math tools that are available in the myViewBoard software. Okay, so again, math tools and everything basically can be found in the magic box. I think that's why they called it the magic box, because it's very magical. There's lots of resources in there. So in the magic box in the toolbar, you can go ahead and access it through the tools. Okay. The first tool I'm going to go over is the ruler tool. This is a fun way to practice measurement, engage your students. There's also a protractor, compass, and set square, but that's a little bit beyond third grade for me. But for all of you upper grade teachers and any other math fanatics out there, you've got all of those awesome tools to use, but we're just going to talk about the ruler. So I'm going to go ahead and show you more about the ruler tool. All right, so the ruler tool, again, can be found in the magic box. I love how the ruler is customizable, like a lot of things in myViewBoard now. So you can go ahead and click on the settings bar. You can make the numbers bigger and smaller. The ruler can be bigger and smaller, as well as changing what type of measurement you want to use on the top and the bottom of the ruler. So when you have it how you want, you can rotate the sides, which if you need to measure some angles or something like that. And then here's just an example of how you could measure a rectangle on the side. So we've got 3 on that side. I love that it's transparent, so you can accurately measure. Just, again, some ways I would use the ruler tool would be to measure area and perimeter of rectangles, also to just practice measuring in general. So teaching students how to accurately measure. I think this is a really fun way to do that. Another tool is the clock tool, which is also found in the Magic Box. So if you scroll to the clock, you got it there. You can also adjust the size, which is pretty cool. And then some features here, you can change it to a random time. So if you wanted a student to go up and practice telling what time it is on the analog clock, you can also take away the numbers and it'll set back to the real time whenever you want. So if you just wanted an analog clock for fun on your ViewBoard, then you can just have the clock tool there, or you could use it to teach students about the analog clock. Another cool tool is the timer tool. Timers are my favorite classroom management tool. I use it all day long, like no joke. Timers going off all day long in my classroom. I use timers to manage independent and group work time. You can use it for time tests, keeping yourself on time, or you can even time things like think, pair, share. So how many minutes do you have to talk to your partner? 2 minutes, okay, go. So there's two ways that you can add a timer to myViewBoard. One would be to use the timer and stopwatch tool in Magic Box. And then another one would be to, you remember how we did the internet widget with Wheel of Names? So you can do that. Go on YouTube, search any beloved timer that you wish, and then go ahead and import that as an internet browser widget to your Canvas. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I love all of that. Okay. All right. And then I believe the last tool we're going to talk about, which is actually one of my favorites, would be the flashcard.
Hey, Krystal. Quick
sorry.
question from our Q&A. Kelly asked, how did you add the rectangle? Would you mind going back over that?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the rectangle, so the video is just going to kind of autoplay, but on the toolbar at the bottom, there's like a shape tool and you can add different shapes. It's not shown here in this video, but there's different shapes that you can choose from. So like you could do rectangle, square, circle. I think there's even more customizable features. So if you wanted to divide your circle into fraction parts, I know that that's an option. And then for the rectangle that I made in this video that you see playing, I actually drew the rectangle with the shape tool. I pre-measured it using the ruler, so that way it was an exact number of centimeters or an exact number of inches. So that way, when I have my students go up and use the ruler tool, then I know that they're going to get an exact number versus something like 2.5 centimeters, which could be a little too advanced for a third grader. But so that's, yeah, the shape tool is just another tool in the toolbox. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Krystal. If there are additional questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A. Okay, go ahead, Krystal.
Okay, so back to flashcards. So this is how to create flashcards. Again, in our beloved Magic Box, you're going to go ahead and go to Tools, and then you're going to scroll until you see flashcards. So again, with everything else, you can adjust the size of your flashcards, make them bigger and smaller. And I really like this because you can add whatever content that you want by typing in the text that you want in the front or the back of the card. So here you're going to see me doing an example of like a multiplication flashcard. 2 times 3 is 6. So answers on the back, I go ahead and hit save, flip it. You can see 2 times 3, flip it for the answer. Now you get 6. Okay. What's cool is you can copy and paste the flashcards so that it's way quicker for you to edit, as well as add images. So let's say you wanted to say, what equation does this show? You could show an array and then put the answer on the back as the equation. And then here I have a whole example of 8 times flashcards for multiplication. So you can make whole screens of just whatever flashcards you want. Yeah. And then here's just a question to think about. I know we talked about so much already. Which math tool or ViewBoard updated feature do you see yourself trying out in your classroom? And down there, I have all the examples. You can type your answer in the Q&A just so that, you can think about which one you might want to try, or hopefully you learned something new today or saw some cool things. I'm sure you have questions, and if you do, please don't be shy. I'm here to answer, or someone else can answer for you. Any questions that you have about anything that I've talked about today.
Any questions? So we're going to give just a moment to allow you time to truly process and see if you have any questions for Krystal. Krystal, thank you for that. That was super informative. I don't know about you, but as I remember when I was in the classroom and in the summer months, my mind is constantly wondering about what new tools I'm going to introduce and show in the classroom. And so this was a really helpful way to visualize some things I can do that incorporate this refresh. I want to make sure, okay, I'm looking at, let's see, from Sabria, flashcards, the ruler and flashcard tools. Did you want to look at that again?
No, I think she might just be saying that's what she wants to try out.
Got it.
Possibly.
Okay, thank you.
Unless
Nice.
I'm wrong, then please.
I love that.
You can put
That's
it in question mode, but I think just maybe sharing. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You'd love to try those out. I'm glad a lot of you are pulling out some things that I shared here today. Again, I know that was a lot. I kind of talked so much and so fast. But don't worry, because this is recorded and will be available for playback. So if you need to go back and see things again, yeah.
Sabria also says you can create flashcards with just pictures, correct?
Yes, so it gives you the option to do text only, picture only, or text and picture. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that. I always love to have a nice little action item after I leave a webinar. So it's kind of my way of saying, okay, Tara, on purpose, I'm going to try this. So Sabria, thank you again for doing that for us, and all others who are still kind of noodling which particular tool you're going to jump into. Thank you for that. Awesome. Well, again, Krystal. Oh, here we go. Kelly, can you import PowerPoint slides?
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe if Tara, do you know?
Yes, I am positive because I know you can import Google Slides. So
Yes.
I know you can also import PowerPoint slides as well. Yes.
Yes, that's right. Because I know that Meredith does a lot of her PowerPoint. So yes, absolutely, you can use PowerPoint and not a Google slide.
And Canva works really well too. Importing Canva slides in too. So kind of pick your platform and it will slide right on into the into our software, the myViewBoard software. Thank you for that question, Kelly.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just very Google girl. So
no worries.
Google.
No worries.
Yes, no worries. For asking that question. Yes. So, and if you want to import your slides, you have to make sure that your Google Drive is connected to your myViewBoard account in order for it to import properly. Because if you don't have that permission in the settings on your myViewBoard account settings, then it's not going to show up as an option. So just make sure that you sign in to your Google Drive. And I know there's other apps you can connect it to as well. I think I have my Google Classroom connected as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, being ensuring that you're signed into Google as well as you're signed into myViewBoard is going to make all of this much, much easier and be there when you want to use it again.
All right.
Okay,
So we
I
will.
think we're good. I think we've addressed all the questions. Are we good? I think so.
I will.
Oh, go
Oh yes.
ahead.
I think I had one more just thing to share about
Yes.
resources, just real quickly, before we get into ClassSwift. Um, so I have some free resources to share with all of you. So again, thank you for taking time out of your day to attend this webinar. So you'll get a copy of the 24 game. That includes 40 slides of varying difficulty, so you can try it out with your classroom. So this is just like a PowerPoint version, but you can actually buy the 24 game. It's like actual like branded thing where you can have like hundreds of cards, and then they have like different versions where it's like you can have it simpler. So starting with addition and subtraction only, and then they have multiplication division. So that I'm also going to be giving you some base 10 draggable mats with blocks and discs up to 100,000. So that will be all for you to use however you want to use it. So I think that's pretty cool, pretty fun. And then the last resource, got multiplication flashcards 1 through 12 that I shared with my demonstration on flashcards. So I went ahead and created all of the things 1 through 12, so you don't have to. But if you want to do division or something, then you're going to have to do that. Yes. But yeah, so that's just another resource for you to
Awesome.
have. So all those great things, and just want to say mahalo, which is thank you in Hawaiian, and I appreciate each and every one of you again for taking the time, and thank you so much to Sonic and Tara for allowing me to be here today.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Krystal, for sharing all of, again, your expertise and insight around myViewBoard and math. This has been awesome. And then the resources, what? That's amazing. I don't know about you, but I love, love, love free resources. And I know you guys are going to enjoy having those in your toolkit going into this new school year. So very excited about that. Okay, so guess what? It is check for understanding time. So if you haven't had an opportunity to join the class, please get your cell phones out and scan the QR code that is on the screen. Okay, that is going to put you into the class so that you can participate. Remember, I am giving away some giftograms for those of you who can get at least 3 points. You get a $5 giftograms, and if you can get 5 points or more, you get a $10 giftograms. So just think of it as a free morning brew on us, okay? Remember, when you're joining the class, I'm going to need you to ensure that the name you put in the class is the same name that's in your that you registered by. Okay, so same name. That way I can actually get the giftograms to you. One other housekeeping item with that, ensure that you're not in incognito mode because it will not allow you to get into the class. So some of you might be wondering, well, what is ClassSwift? What are we doing? Well, we're using ClassSwift for our check for understanding. And what ClassSwift does is make teaching more effective and easier by empowering teachers to be able to get real-time accountability. So those great checks for understanding and classroom management all in one. And so ClassSwift does a wonderful job of delivering that to you. And I'm going to show you how easy it works. So hopefully you guys are getting into the classroom now. I'm actually going to check my class. 1 second. and see if I got any folks in there. And I do. Okie dokie. So here we go. We're going to get started. Let me get out of this. I'm going to give you the first question. Uh-oh. Let me go back here. Okay, so notice what I'm doing. I'm going into quiz mode, which is down here because I'm giving you guys a quiz, if you will. It's a true or false question. And so I'm going to be able to send it to you like this. And we're going to start the quiz now. So you should see it come up on your phones. And then you're going to make the selection based on, of course, this is based on Krystal's presentation. So we just want to see if there's any lingering questions and also clarify anything that might have been missed with this check for understanding. Okay, so I see that folks have answered. So I'm going to go ahead and end the quiz. And I'm going to uncover the correct answer. Okay, how did we do? Nice. Very good, you guys. You were listening. Very good. You guys know there are multiple ways to use the DICE tool, which I love. I love that tool from everything from classroom management to actual math. I can think of it even across the discipline. So nice job, everyone. Okay, let's do the next question. Question 2. So let's do this one will be multiple choice. So I'm going to select multiple choice here. Notice I'm just dragging it over the question to capture the question so that I can actually send it to you. And we're going to start quiz now. Well, now. Okay, multiple choice this time. What new feature allows teachers to upload visuals into student workspace? Who remembers? Okay, I see some of us are answered. Notice how discreet because you guys are seeing what the teacher would see on her screen. Notice I can see who's answered and who has not, but it does not reveal their answers. Okay, so there is some discretion, but most times you guys know that as teachers, we wouldn't have this screen facing. Okay, looks like everyone has, a couple of more. I'm gonna give a couple more minutes to ensure everyone's answered. What new feature allows teachers to upload visuals into student workspace? In my toolbox, I have a timer. Krystal was talking about how much she enjoys using timers, as do I, when I was in the classroom or at home with my daughter still. I can do a timer here and set, because I've given already a little bit of time, I'll just set it for 10 seconds. If I can do it right. There's one, whoops, there. Oh. And then down. And that way everyone knows, and we'll end the quiz then. Is it doing the timer? I don't know that it's doing it.
It's like the second piece we've gotten to.
Okay, we're gonna end it now. And I'm going to reveal the answer because I want to be sensitive to time. The answer for this one is, disclose. Okay, most of us got it correct. There were a couple that got it some got it incorrect. The correct answer is C. Participant mode is the new feature that allows students to have their own workspace. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies for everyone. that particular feature. And the next one, and then I want to see what our leaderboard looks like. Here's our third question. It is multiple choice again. So again, just real quick copy. And then I'm going to start the quiz. Okay, there's your third question. I am also giving 1 point for those, and I didn't even say this, but just for having, for joining the class, that gives you a point too. So there are some freebies that will get you to the over 5 quicker for those who are striving for that $10 giftogram. Okay, I see that many of us have already answered. So I'm going to go ahead and end the quiz now. And the correct answer is D, 6. What is the maximum number of workspaces you can have in participate mode? 6 different spaces for your kiddos up at the board. Awesome. So let's disclose there. Everyone got it correct. Nice. Absolutely. That is wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm glad you guys know that. That was information that was truly sticky. So that is wonderful. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see how we all are doing. I'm just going to real quick pop into here and put the leaderboard up. Let's just take a quick look. There we are. All righty. I see folks who are going to easily get to that that 5 threshold. That's going to get them that $10 giftogram. We only have a couple of questions left. So let's see who gets there. Awesome job. Thank you. I'm going to take this away. You guys can see how you can use this in your classrooms for just obviously that just a visual praise to your students. But also it encourages those who aren't on the leaderboard. Okay, let me really lock in and try to get on this leaderboard. Okay, let's go into the final questions. And here we go. You'll see that is multiple choice one more time. So here's question 4. And let's start quiz. There you go. You should have it on your phones. Participate mode in 3.0 now includes what helpful classroom workflow feature? Auto grading, embedded chat, pop-up windows for grading and progress saving, AI-based seating charts. I know the answer. And looks like a lot of you do too. This is awesome. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to end it now, just wanting to be sensitive about our time. Most of you have answered. I'm going to end the quiz. The correct answer is C. Nice. Good job, you guys. Good job. That's awesome. Awesome. Krystal, applauding you as well. Good teaching.
Good listening.
Okay. So the last question is a freebie, but it is important. Okay. So I'm going to do it now. So you guys, there is no right or wrong answer for this last one. You'll see why. It's a poll question. Okay. So here I go. Notice I have that option here, true or false, multiple choice, and poll. So here's, this is a poll question. So here we go. And I'm going to start quiz now. Again, no right or wrong answers. But if you're interested, please ensure you scan that QR code. It's just going to take you to our interest form so that someone on the Class Swift team can get in contact with you. Yes, I see everyone is answering. I'm going to give just another minute. And again, this is our freebie. So for those of you who are really gunning for 5 points, you're going to get there because this is a freebie. And don't forget, you got a point for joining, just participating. Okay, I'm going to end it now. And thank you all, those who answered that question, those who are interested. Again, scan that QR code. It's going to take you to our interest form, and I promise someone from ClassSwift will reach out to you. So thank you guys. That's ClassSwift kind of in a nutshell. There's so much more to it. There's a teacher hub as well that allows you to really manage the data very nicely and make those informed data decisions. I'm going to quickly go back to our Q&A and make sure we don't have any questions there. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it bad? Is that, oh, I got it. Yes, sorry. There, I apologize. That's QR code better. The floating toolbar that you guys saw is the ClassSwift toolbar. And the cool thing is the reason that it floats is so that it can grab information from wherever you're using your computer, which is a beautiful way to be able to, again, get that quick insight on like in real time. Okay, so hopefully now everyone has access to that QR code if you're interested. I don't think we have any additional questions. Are there any lingering questions for Krystal or for myself? I do want to let you know that I mentioned in the beginning, it is a 4-part series. So that means that our third webinar is going to happen in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yes, on August the 7th. There will be information shared about that very soon. It'll be posted in our community. If you're not a community member, join. You want to be a part of the community so that you get access to these webinars in addition to a whole library full of webinars. Also, what I'm doing, if those who have won giftograms today, I'm super generous. You guys know that about me if you've been in a webinar before. So if you were a giftogram winner and you're a community member, I'm going to throw in a product in there too. I'm deciding which one it's going to be, but I will let you know. But the way you can be eligible is by being a community member. I believe that the community page that link has been shared in the chat or in the Q&A. So you can just follow that. That's going to take you into a very quick login it'll sync it with your myViewBoard login as well, or it'll find you rather as a myViewBoard user, and it takes less than 30 seconds. Okay. We are just beyond the top of the hour. I want to thank Krystal one more time. I want to thank you all for joining us today. And I hope I see you again in 2 weeks for our third webinar in this Pro Tips series for myViewBoard 3.0. Thank you. Bye.
The community, what is it? It is another layer of support that supports our ecosystem. We have free webinars, we have a product forum, we have the ability for you to connect, collaborate, and contribute with other educators.
A sense of community is really important for teachers to have a place where they can go to get their questions answered and get thoughts on best ways to help their students. And if you don't have a community built, there's not the trust in allowing people to be vulnerable and ask for that help, and also take into account that they have some things to learn.
Plan on joining the educator community side by just delivering some content that I may record and sharing that with my other colleagues, and hopefully I can use some of the information that they shared and bring it back to my school district as well.
It's kind of nice because you can see what different people are doing in our region as well as across the world. There's some really good PD lectures or classes on there, and it's also a chance, it looks like, for you to ask questions or just connect with people afterwards.
In education, community is everything. I think the worst thing for a teacher is to feel stranded on an island or classroom, literally speaking, and it's important that we support each other and that we have a professional learning community that we can bounce ideas off of and learn from and get inspired from.
Community is the biggest part of education. I think that we oftentimes forget that this is the people business. We're serving all kinds of people, and people are working in the people business, right? So education is all about community and building relationships, building trust. And ViewSonic does a really fantastic job of building a community, whether it's connecting you to the right people at the right time for support, building your skills and supporting you as a learner, and then also just creating a community where you can go and ask questions.
So by now, you have to be interested in technology that drives both efficiency and success. And I know you want access to complimentary virtual product training, best practices digital workshops, thought leadership blogs and podcasts, as well as customer support solutions. So join the thousands who nationwide and internationally who have already connected, collaborated, and contributed in the educator community. And be a part of a movement that is transforming classrooms with the ViewSonic ecosystem. I'll see you in the community.